and welcome to Letty Does Playing Lone Wolf, The Huntress, Book 3, Echoes of Eternity, Part 8. So I filmed parts 7 through 10 of this Let's Play all in one go, and this clip that you're watching marks the beginning of Part 8. If you haven't seen Part 7 yet, you can go check that out by seeing this video's PeerTube description. Let's get started! Yeah, and then I can't make anything because that's only if I do not have the Mark of the Agarashi. So I feel like this is going to be something bad. It has been a long time since your scar last itched, but it begins to do so now, becoming so irritated that you lift the eye patch and rub a nail over the scar tissue. But the itch is deeper, coming from under the scar, as though it were the missing eye itself, which longs to be scratched. You are not sure what compels you to look up, but when you do, you see the monkeys have changed. Their jaws have elongated and their fangs grown. Their eyes glow with amber malevolence, and from their backs spiny, blue-black quills have erupted. The pink fruit that one of them is digging ravenously into, you now see is a human eye. Another drops a bloody hand, having already chewed off most of the meat. It falls to the ground directly in front of you with a wet splat. Wrapped around the severed wrist is a bracelet, from which hangs a golden key stained with blood. You may keep this if you wish. It is a special item. Furiously, you scratch at your eye, wishing you could rip open the scar and dig out whatever is crawling around in the socket. Then, for a blessing, it stops. You look back into the trees. The monkeys are now nothing more than adorable little beasts, but you feel that you have been given a glimpse into their true nature, maybe even their true physical forms. So warned, you leave the jungle as quickly as you can. The day is growing late, and you head back for the forge. Dang, what? When they mentioned that there was fruits, I was like, ooh, maybe I can take some of that fruit to get a meal. That's so creepy. Oh no. So weird. Okay. Of course I'm going to take the key. It is a special item. I have room here. I have a crystal key already. And maybe I should do comma golden key? Or should that be its own thing? Golden key. I'm just finding all these keys everywhere. I'm going to be opening so many doors. And then I head back to the forge. No food. I was hoping I could get a meal. Yeah. So now we are back here to 19. I wonder if I should have gone the opposite way. Maybe I should go back down to the beach. Okay, first let's ask about the forge. I think that's the last thing I haven't done. Tavosh is more than happy to talk about the Forge. He tells you that just as Aeon holds many worlds, so too is the universe just one of many planes. There are, for instance, the astral plane and the planes of darkness and light where the gods reside. There are universes stacked upon universes or alongside them, and in between these is a place without time or set form. Some call it the confluence. It is said the gods use the confluence to create material forms outside of the laws of time and the conditions of the material plane, Tavash tells you. Think of it as the forge of the gods. Maledictus's greatest ambition was to gain access to it. These rooms we stand in, which I call the forge, and they called the hive, was meant to be a conduit to the confluence. So they could harness and use its power. So why did it make the time loop, you say? Perhaps this is what Maledictus intended. Or maybe it was responding to me when I turned it on. Or maybe the damn thing is broken. A blown thingamabob or doohickey. In other words, you conclude, you have no idea. Not in the slightest, Tavash says happily. More fish? The rest of the evening passes in peace, and in the morning you head out into the city. You can take Grace Dancer Road, which towards the halls of supremacy, turn to 48. Or you can wander the city without a destination, turn to 94. Yep. Okay. So, I don't really know what information I gained from that. But that's all my questions. That's all I can ask. What to do? I've gained another key. So that's good. I didn't do the watchtowers. I guess I can do the watchtower. There is that weird-ass kid, though. And the singing kid. I wonder if I was to mess up with him, would I get sent back here or would I just die? What did I need to do to get there? Wander the city, right? Okay. I don't know. Let's pick wander the city. And then I have read that page before. And I can take the time reader again. Well, I already have it. Did I turn to the wrong page? Yep. Yeah. Wrong one. Idiot. I was on the right page and then I turned one more page anyway. Okay? We will listen to his song. Thank goodness we're stuck in a Groundhog Day situation. That's very horrible for the lady. Is she just giving birth every single day? Holy fuck. That's awful. The boy's fingers are deft as they coax music from the strings, his voice confident yet still full of the enviable innocence of youth as he sings of the founding of Voltec. Venthusius, giver of gifts, to those who would follow him shared a home which they could call their own. named Vol for those who dared. He founded our land, a heaven on earth, but without knowing the cost. In this song, I'll sing of her, the woman whose love he lost. One grain shifts, a choice we make, an entire desert sighs. One soft breath passing lips stirs the sands of time. The enrapturing song tells the story of Enthusiast in his younger days as he fell in love with a human woman named Jin, a leader of the Vol who were then simply called the people. Enthusiast gifted Jin and the people with health, educated them, and gave them great gifts of wisdom and of craft. He found the island of Voltac and brought her people there to live forever in paradise. However, Jin did not follow him. Before they could go, the bard sings, Jin died of the plague. Ere he could complete his prophetic dictum, Jin became the plague's first victim. Seeing their loved leader so taken from them, the people as one begged for Enthusiast to save them, and he brought them to Voltac, leading them in his sky chariot, pulled by steeds of wind. The song is beautiful and sad, but you are kept from trusting it by what you have seen in Voltac and by what Tavosh told you. The death of Jin strikes you as very conveniently timed to get the people to follow Enthusiast. By the time the song has ended, the bell has tolled the quarter hour. The crying of the woman has ceased, and you continue on your way through the city. Add knowledge of Jin's song to your action chart and turn to 146. Oh. Okay. That's so sad, I think. I don't know. I don't trust it either. All right, and then we are here back again. Have I done it again? No? Aww. I didn't get the food. I should have gotten the food from the guy again. And then come back here. From my max? No, don't do this to me. So I'm on the beach now. I didn't know I would go to the beach. Alright. Well, I don't have a meal. Oopsie daisy. Yeah. And then I will go to the watchtowers. So that is going to be minus 3 AP. And that is going to be from my max and my current. Dang! I was like, I have full EP. That's great. Now it's 20 out of 20, huh? That sucks. Watchtowers. There was nothing left for me in the jungle, right? I don't think so. The breeze off the ocean is refreshing, but does little to shade you from the heat of the sun. It is hard to imagine Kai's light failing in only a few hours. You raise the hood of your cloak and trudge on, blinking away the sweat which drips in your eyes, swatting at the buzzing insects which are drawn to the scent of salt. During your hike, you may use a healer's kit if you have one. For the better part of an hour, you walk the beach until the sand is cut off abruptly at a line of yellow wheat, soft spheres that part for you. You follow a path through the tall stalks, wondering who is cultivating it. Certainly there were not enough people in all of Voltec to keep up with the miles upon miles of fields and fruit trees that now stretch before you, broken up only by the strange watchtowers rising up out of the fields like massive trees. You come to the foot of one and realize the truth. 4 stone wheels, larger than houses, connect to a chassis which supports the massive torso of a stone and wood hewn warrior, dwarven in depiction though not in size. Metal joints lead to 4 arms that end in digging and sawing apparatuses. What you had taken at first to be a watchtower is actually a slumped-over golem, taller than the walls of any city. Birds nest in the crevices of the joints, and moss covers the face, making it seem like it has a green beard. All of the watchtowers are similar corpses of similarly long dormant golems, wheat grown up high around them. You hear a buzzing sound coming from deeper in the stalks. Have you been here before? If so, turn to 110. If not, turn to 186. Oh no! I don't want to fight anything. I wonder if there's a way to get these guys on my side, huh? Maybe Taosh has something that will help us. Dang it. Haven't been here before. That's great. Great. You have hardly taken 10 steps when the wheat stalks starts shaking and rustling. What bursts out is thin, 5 feet tall, and made up mostly of bladed arms, which it swipes through the air like scythes. It walks on 2 legs, but otherwise has no humanoid characteristics. Without a head, you have no idea how it is tracking you, but it senses you regardless and leaps to cut you apart. Thresher Construct, Endurance 18. The combat ratio for this fight is +3. The Thresher deals 2 endurance damage at the beginning of every round, and an additional 2 endurance damage every time it strikes you. It is immune to poison, and takes no damage from Fire Seed or Flame Sprout Potion. If you have the Art of Santasi or Salazans, wield the appropriate weapon, and wish to use this art, turn to 35. If you win this combat, turn to 110. If you die during combat, turn to 100. I don't want to die again. Okay. No. That I do not have. That I do not have. If you win this combat. So I just need to fight it. And what does the Time Reaver do? It adds 1 to my combat ratio. I think that's applicable all the time, right? So let's enter combat. I am going to be using the Time Reaver, and let's see what that does. No, I didn't write what this fight was against, but I know it's against the Storm Guardian. And this is going to be against the... sure. Construct. And that is going to be on 186. My endurance is 20. Aww. Back to where I was before. This one has 18. I will be fighting with the dagger, so it will actually be +4 ratio. Now, it's going to deal beginning of every round. Right, so I'm going to take 2 right away. Right? At the beginning of every round. So I'm actually starting with 18. It just is going to deal the damage right away. Okay. Let's roll. That's going to be a 6 off the Sleeping Kitty. Let's see what that means. My combat ratio is +4. And 9. I think so. +4. And I rolled a 6. So I'm going to deal 10. And it is going to deal, it says 2, but actually it's 4. So I've already taken 6 damage. It's kind of a lot, but okay. -4. Rolled a 6. So let's go back here. It is going to have 8 endurance points. I'm gonna have 14. And a combat ratio of +4. Okay. Then I need to fight it again. So I am going to get dealt another 2. So I have 12 actually. Let's see what I do. Ooh, bad luck. That's a 3. I usually write that here. And that means that I was so close. I'm gonna die. I deal 7 to them, and they deal 5 to me. Oh, that's so bad. I was so close to not need to take that damage. Because they still have 1 endurance point. So I still need to fight them. Okay, rolling again. Can I roll it off of you? Will you be offended? Oh, it almost left me. It's a 5. That's not good either. But is it good enough? Okay, so they're going to immediately deal 2 to me. I actually have 5. Oh, fuck, don't do this. Are you kidding? I didn't think it would be that hard. And then he's going to deal 2 to me. But then they actually deal 4 to me because they deal an additional 4. They deal an additional 2 every time that they hit me and then they are dead. I think I need to take the damage first, right? I'm pretty sure I take the damage first. I don't need to verify. That's just the results of the round. I kill them, and that's just how it goes. Yay, we won! Barely! Had I done one singular more point of damage... Oh wait, I had do I still have the Sun God's Shield? Buddy, you have the Sun God's Shield. Look, okay, here's what we're gonna do, okay? Write it here, okay? Write it here, and then when it's gone, remove it, okay? Also, you have one fire seed left. Okay, you fucking loser? You gotta remember, you got one left, alright? What else? What else? And I got my hand cannon, but I can't use it right now. I got all this other stuff. Dang it. I should have used it. Idiot! I forgot I had the Viper's Bite too. Ugh. What are you doing? What are you doing? Idiot. Okay, I'll write Skin Crawler and Viper's Bite. The Viper's Bite would have really helped. Ah, oh, idiot. Okay, well, I won. But at what cost? Wow. Did I, like, read that wrong? It is immune to poison. You're an idiot. Why'd you do that? You don't have to brute force every battle. Why'd I do that? I don't know. I won! Yay! Not wanting to meet more of what lurks in the fields, you turn and run in the opposite direction until you part a cluster of the yellow stalks to find yourself at the entrance of a short cave. Set just far enough back in the cave that it blends into the gloom, you see a door. It is made of steel, thick enough to be impervious to anything you have at your disposal. An ornate plate shaped like a woman's face holds a keyhole with the hole in the middle of her forehead. A premonition of danger hits you. You hear movement outside the cave, the sound of heavy footfalls and raspy breathing. If you have a golden key or concentrated acid, remember to erase it. You can open the door and dart inside. Turn to 171. Or if you have thieves' lock picks and the ability to use them, you can attempt to pick the lock. Turn to 12. If you have neither, then turn to 85. I have the golden one, right? I have the golden one. I have the golden key. Okay. I also have concentrated acid, but I'll use the key. So I don't think I erase it. Unless it tells me to in the next section. So the premonition of danger is what's approaching me, not what's on the other side of the door, right? Because it'll be a little silly if I just walk right into that. Beyond the door, the underneath awaits, a mixture of old dwarven mines and lava tunnels formed ages ago when the mountain's blood ran hotter. Hardly have you entered when the clang of an alarm echoes from everywhere, filling your imagination with phantoms of who or what might be chasing you. Dim lights flicker to life along the walls as you run, flames without heat or apparent source lighting your way forward. You sprint until your chest aches, running almost faster than the torchless flames can appear, reaching the edge of one circle of light just as the next one kindles. Ahead, the tunnels grow wider and taller, and the path passes between two bronze-plated guardians, statues of ancient dwarves, their face cracked by time, axes raised to form an archway into a kingdom that has long ceased to be their domain. Do you have the Void Amulet? If so, turn to 72. Otherwise, turn to 97. Okay. They have a security system? Or did I read that wrong? Okay. I have the Void Amulet. And that is going to be... I don't erase the key, right? It didn't tell me to erase the key. It said to erase the concentrated acid if I have it. I wouldn't need to erase a key after I used it IRL, so why would I erase the key now? How I'm able to walk around so stealthily while carrying all this crap, though, that's the real magic. The Void Amulet is vibrating on its chain. You press a hard hand around it and get a flashing sense of how awake it is. It is responding to something in these caverns, a source of power. You recall Nazca's clawed hands clutching the amulet, using it as a focus. You can do the same, influencing reality, but such abilities come at a cost. Until you are told otherwise. Whenever you pick a number from the random number table, you may reduce your maximum endurance by 2 to pick a new number and use either one. Mark this on your action chart next to the Void Amulet. Stop! I did that combat wrong! I did the last combat wrong. Because I forgot I'm supposed to be punished by the kunai parasite. The first round of combat, I am supposed to pick 2 numbers, and I'm supposed to choose the lowest. Wow, that's awful. Okay. So, I did that wrong. I think I would have died. I think I would have died. Ah, what do I do now? Okay, well, I'm just going to continue forward for now. Hopefully me writing it all on this combat record will be enough for me to remember. Right. So, let's see. Use either one. Okay, so it's active again. So it says -2 max CP. Is it my current one too? No, right? I don't think so. It's just punishment for later. Yeah. Oh, that sucks. Alright. Well, things are just so complicated. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die so many times. So I filmed parts 7 through 10 of this Let's Play all in one go, and this clip that you're watching marks the end of part 8. Stay tuned for part 9. That's all I got for you for now. Get out there, do all the stuff. See you next time. Bye!